Hi everyone, welcome back. Just a little break there, just to get my tracksuit off. I've been on the bench, made a few stretches, run up and down the sidelines. I'm ready to come on. I'm ready to play the game of my life. And I've got somebody who's going to manage this for me. I think, personally, for me, and I know that other people feel this way, Harry Redknapp, the best England manager we never had. And yet, here he is with us tonight on the Virtual Food Festival. Here we go. Harry Redknapp, all-time football hero. Come in, Harry. Your time is now. Hi, Harry. Well, we're just gonna take you off mute. There you go. Harry, how are you doing? Are you well?
Yeah, we had a great day. The weather's been fantastic, hasn't it? So it's been a nice day.
That's magic. Harry, are you watching us on your iPad or your phone?
My iPad.
Yeah. Are you able to turn it so that we can see you in landscape?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Sandra can. She's cleverer than me.
There she is. Hey, there you go.
Hey! Oops, told you.
That's all right.
But she thought she was.
No, that's okay. We can see that really well. Sandra, thanks for that.
That's all right.
See, Sandra's always in the wings when you need her.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've stressed her out tonight though. That was a comedy show earlier, trying to get on to speak to Jack. I mean.
Yeah, we had a quick chat with Jack because, of course, you know, the Stein family, they love you to bits. You're a real supporter of their restaurants. And, of course, where you are in Dorset, you kind of close to one too, aren't you? You can pop in and get yourself a nice little takeaway at the moment.
It's made such a difference to us where we live, that restaurant. I couldn't tell you. The people round here and everybody, people, somebody, you go on a Saturday night, there's people come from all over the country to come and spend a weekend here and to go into Rick Stein's restaurant. So, but we walk across the road, we absolutely love it. And we go in there as well, you know, for coffee in the mornings at 10 o'clock, read the papers. I mean, it's amazing. They even get my Racing Post for me, which is just fantastic.
I was going to say, get in there with a coffee and have a nice little flutter.
They're brilliant.
Yeah. And I suppose, really, we should say congratulations, Harry, with Harry's Heroes. What a result.
Yes, beating the Germans. It was, I must admit, when I saw the two teams, I looked at their team, I thought, oh my God, they look younger, fitter. They really wanted revenge for last year's beating when we beat them at home 4-2 at Leyton Orient's ground. Yeah. But no, the boys pulled it out again and we managed to win. It was fantastic. We had a great night.
And it's brilliant to watch. I mean, it's great entertainment, lots of fun and banter. But, you know, we're talking here tonight on a kind of basis of a food-related live broadcast. And people might say, well, of course, Harry, with all of his football experience and knowledge, what's he doing here? But you are a real foodie, aren't you?
Well, Sandra's a good cook and we enjoy, you know, when she's not cooking great dinners, we enjoy going out for dinner. I say we, you know, and so yeah, I do enjoy. We do enjoy that. We go on holiday, but I look forward to going out for dinner in the evening as much as anything. That's a big part of holidays for me.
Yeah, and just go back to Harry's Heroes. Your view on food and lucky enough to have Sandra fueling you with amazing dinners is not quite the same for the rest of the lads, was it?
No, well, they were supposed to be on strict diets. I think they. But they didn't actually stick to them. I think some of them, their diet was beer and Indian food. I mean, they just they found it very hard to change their ways after so many years of being out of football and not having to keep fit. But one or two of them did well. Paul Merson did particularly well. Matt Letizia lost a good amount of weight.
Yeah, about 6 kilos.
A few of them buckled down.
Yeah, that was great. And as well as the highlight of seeing everybody's camaraderie on that program is actually you still very much passionate about winning.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That was so important to me to win the game. It was like when if I'd won a Premier League game. That's how excited I was at the end of the game. And the last 10 minutes, I'm kicking every ball and looking at my watch and telling the referee to blow his whistle. I don't mean, he couldn't understand me. He was German, but I'm shouting at the ref. And Alan Kennedy, my left back, who was 66 years of age, kept overlapping. He was running, and I was saying, Alan, stay back, stay there. And he kept going again. Amazing, 66 years of age, and the energy that he played with was incredible.
Well, he hasn't lost that since he played for Liverpool. It's absolutely brilliant player. Amazing TV, brilliant result. Harry, I wanted to make the connection between food and sport, because it's come on a long way, hasn't it? Sport, nutrition. And I want to make the comparison really from when you were playing at West Ham in the 60s with Bobby Moore and nipping into the Black Lion after the game, right? And then with the modern day, I mean, can you talk about your experiences, and then as a manager, how you got involved with the nutrition of your players?
It was completely different when I was a player. I mean, the only time we got any food at the training ground was pre-season. That would be for 5 weeks, when we'd have somebody just, in fact, it was the groundsman and his wife. His wife used to come in and do a bit of food for us. It was never too exciting, believe it. And it was, but then once pre-season finished, we would train just mornings. We would then go to a cafe nearby, When we were at West Ham, we'd go to Kazatari's Caf, which was a very, very famous caf, just 50 yards from the ground. The first team players would go there, and the young players would go to a caf called the Central, about 50 yards. And we got 4 shilling dinner vouchers, 4 shillings. And we would have steak and kidney pie, chips and peas or whatever, 2 steamed jam roly-polies and custard, and a couple of Coca-Colas, and still get change. I mean, you cannot believe it now. And that was... it was amazing. But we had no diets. We just ate what we wanted, basically. Trained very hard, run miles and miles on the training ground. But when it came to it, the diets, we really didn't have any,
Yeah, I know. And your dear pal, Bobby Moore, one of the best players ever to grace a football pitch, never mind just, in England. Used to kick about, didn't you? And it didn't seem to affect his ability to play brilliantly.
Oh no, it didn't. I mean, we were brought up with it. We learned to play football in the streets. We were all kids at West Ham, all from the same areas. All from most of our most of our fathers worked in the docks.
Yeah.
So we were mostly sons of dockers, and we all came up from the same sort of background. And we just all got on so well, but we lived for the game. We loved football. And we would even come and train in the summer. When we were finished, we'd have a 6, 7, 8 week window in them days. But we used to meet up once or twice a week and go and over Hainault near the golf course. And we'd put the coach down, and we'd have a 9-a-side, 10-a-side game with a few of our mates. And then we would end up going round the Retreat pub round the corner about 8 o'clock, 8:30. And have a drink in there, but we'd go and play for 2 hours. We'd do that a couple of days a week. We just loved playing football.
Yeah. And when you got into management, did you have much involvement in enforcing the diet and trying to keep an eye on the players as pre-match?
I had more I think in stopping them trying to stop them drinking.
Yeah.
I banned the players' bar at West Ham. I stopped that. Because I remember coming out one night had a home game. It was about 6:30 when I was walking out the 7:15 maybe, where I had a meeting with my staff, and we'd been talking about the game. And the time I came out, the place was absolutely deserted, and there's still a couple of kids getting autographs. And they said to me that I wouldn't tell you his name, but one of my star players had just come out, and he was so drunk he couldn't walk straight. He'd been in the players' bar, and I thought, well, this is not what he should be, obviously. And I banned all booze from the players' bar after a game, drinking on the coach and things like that. Yeah, but it was a different culture in them days. But certainly from drinking, the whole alcohol side of it, I certainly banned the booze in it. As it wasn't something that I agreed with. I'm not a big drinker anyway. I'm a glass of wine man. I'll have my dinner tonight. We've got from Rick Steins tonight.
Nice.
Coming over. We're doing a takeaway service, which has been great. So probably once a week we do that. But I'll have a nice glass of red wine, and that's me, you know. And Sandra's the same, really.
Yeah. Well, you both look in great shape. And just to go back to Harry's Heroes, everybody was slightly concerned for you when you went down the bobsleigh run, but you nailed it.
Well, I must admit, it was a crazy thing. Looking back on it, I mean, I thought, well, I've come here now. I can't not do it, you know. And the boys who went first were trying to tell me, Harry, they were trying to get a message back because it really did make them quite ill. They were scared and they thought it's not a thing I should be doing at 72. But they didn't get the message back to me, and I did it. And amazingly, Rob Lee, who was on the bobsleigh with me, and the funniest part about it, and the first guy on the bobsleigh, the driver, he was the world champion from Austria.
Yeah.
I think the second guy was the German who won the Olympics. And I've got a guy from London, right?
Yeah.
And with Jamaican background.
Yeah.
He was actually born, I think he was actually born in Jamaica, and now he lives in England. He was a lovely guy, and it was almost like that movie, the Jamaican bobsleigh team, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my God! But he was brilliant, and we actually did the fastest time, so it was good.
Good. I'm glad that wasn't a bit of TV editorial magic. I'm glad it was. You did actually win it. And
I screamed. I must be honest. I screamed all the way. I mean, Rob Lee got off. Rob Lee was completely gone. We had to get him straight back to the hotel. He went to bed. He was 2 days. He was unwell. It shook his body so bad.
What?
I mean, 90 mile an hour. You honestly think you're going to go turn over or go whizzing off. It's the most scary thing. I could never ever want to do it again for all the money in the world.
Yeah, well, bless Rob. He's a brilliant player, but he couldn't have got his hair any whiter, could it, doing that?
No, and John Barnes was the same. John, after he did his one, we got back up to go back to the hotel, and John was very ill as well that night. It really made a mess of him. It's not a thing that you'd recommend to anybody to do.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about eating food and strange food, and not necessarily stuff that makes particularly anybody feel hungry. Let's go back to your time as King of the Jungle in I'm a Celebrity. What a champion, another champion. There you go. You come through that. Didn't fancy it at first, and then there you come out winning. What about the things you had to eat in there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd never seen the show, so I really did go into it blind. And Sandra kept saying, Harry, you don't know what you're doing. You've got to watch this program because, you know, there's no food. And I said, Sandra, it's a television program. I've done TV programs in the past. I've done commercials. There's always a caravan there where you go off set. There'll be food. You have a nice cup of tea, cup of coffee, a bacon sandwich or whatever. And then they'll say, okay, everybody back on set, and you'd all come and sit around the fire or whatever it is, and all make out you're hungry. And I said, it's only a TV program. It's not. They're not really. She went, well, I think it is for real. And sure enough, she was right. I had 4 days where I didn't eat a thing. I never ate one single thing. 4 days. I just couldn't bring myself to eating the food. Maybe I'm not very. What's the word? You know, it was food I'd never. Kangaroo, wallaby wing. It was stuff I'd never eaten. I don't know. I just had this. I couldn't bring myself to eating it. I'm sure it was probably nice, you know, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I mean, all of those challenges, they wouldn't work if they were something delicious, would they?
No. And Nick Knowles did all the cooking. Nick was brilliant. I mean, he was amazing. You know, I think he tried to make it as good as he could. But no, it wasn't for me. I just couldn't eat. And so I had 4 days where I didn't eat anything. So
yeah, I remember. I think it must have been in one of the early programs when nobody knew what TalkSport was.
No, I'm looking around after my first day in there, and I'm thinking, hang on, this is going to be tough. I don't really know anybody. You know, I'd seen Nick on TV and one or two of the others, but I didn't really know anybody. John Barrowman I'd seen and knew, but never, you know. But they were all from a different world to me. They were showbiz or whatever they did, you know, TV people, actors, singers, and no one had any interest in sport. It was only Nick Knowles who had any idea really, and he wasn't. You know, Nick wouldn't say he was a rugby man. He loved his rugby, so. But no, and I mentioned we were talking about what they listened to in the mornings, and one was listening to this, and one was, and they said, "What do you listen?" I said, "Talk Sport," and they never had a clue. I said, "Well, what's that about?" I said, "Well, what they talk about?" I said, "Sport." It's just people. Well, all day. I said, "Yeah, all day," and they found it very strange, I think.
I remember seeing the look on your face, trying to explain who, well, not Alan Brazil, but Harry Kane. Well, you were like, Harry Kane.
Yeah, yeah.
Winner,
No, they didn't have a clue who he was. Very different. But it was quite refreshing, actually, to be around people. You know, I spent my whole life just being with people, talking football, sport, all day. And, you know, to hear other parts of what people do with their lives was quite interesting.
Is that the dog's barking because you're...
That's Barney. Barney wants to go out.
Not because the delivery from Stein was turned up.
Hold tight. Someone's outside walking past. Barney.
Let Barney on it.
There's people standing right outside our gate looking in the window now. So
they're going, Harry Redknapp lives in there.
I feel bad. We close the gate and there's the family looking in. It's so difficult, you know.
Don't worry, mate. That's fine. We've got dogs. They're always barking. In a minute, our kids will come running through with the dog, so don't worry too much. I've got a quick question for you. You say that you're not much of a chef. You don't really venture into the kitchen much. But
Sandra's going to answer that one. Sandra?
Yeah?
Am I much of a chef?
He's useless.
What?
He's useless.
I'm
Toast.
Sit down, Sandra. Come and join us. Does Harry know where the kitchen is?
Just about. He has been making me cups of tea, actually, in lockdown. But apart from that, nothing else.
Well, what about this jam roly-poly thing then?
Oh no, I couldn't make one.
No.
Sandra could, but no, we've been eating fantastic dinners, really.
Yeah.
You know, we've had lovely fish delivered from down in Cornwall, you know.
Yeah.
And we've got great butchers down here. So we've been very lucky. We've been getting takeaways from Rick Steins and Guildhall Tavern as well. We got, didn't we? And so the food's been great.
Yeah, so
fish
and chips we have.
Yeah, can't beat that. We live in a very sort of foodie environment. There's loads of brilliant stuff. Harry and Sandra, we've got somebody who wants to join us on screen, somebody who's pledged to come and ask you a question. Can we bring on Fran? Is that all right to ask a question, Harry?
Yes.
Great. So you should be able to see them come on the screen in a minute. Hi, is that Fran?
Yep, that's me. Hello.
Hi, Fran.
How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Good.
Great.
My question for you, Harry, is if you could sign one player in their prime, who would you have picked out of Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, even though I know he is your nephew, and Paul Scholes?
Oh, my God. Do you know what? My England midfield at that time would have been them three. I could never believe it when people kept saying they couldn't play together. I'd have sat Scholesy in the middle and let him sit in and get it off the back form play. And I'd had Frank and Gerrard making runs and scoring goals and box-to-box incredible players. That's an impossible question. I'd probably go with, if I had to, I think they were all fantastic. I'd probably go with Stevie Gerrard.
That has made my day. Thank you very much for that answer.
But you know, all three of them, I think they should have played together in midfield for England. I think they would have been a great midfield.
No, that's brilliant, mate. That is literally, honestly, that has made my day.
Like Liverpool, 4-3-3. England could have played that way with Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Fran,
pleasure.
Fran, who's your team, Fran?
Oh, I'm a massive Liverpool fan. Massive, always have been.
Brilliant. Well, can we keep Fran on a second? Harry, let's just talk a little bit, because you're 2 games away from winning the Premiership and you well deserve it as a team. Yeah. Long time coming. Don't hold it against me. I'm a City fan and I wish you I wish you all the best. But Harry, what's going to happen? The season's restarting. Is it going to be okay?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I think the reason I want to see it started more than anything was to see for Liverpool to win the league. They deserve to win it. They've been incredible, and it would have been such a travesty if it hadn't have. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they could lose every game between now and the end of the season and still win it. They're that far clear.
Yeah.
So, but you know, the quicker we can get it done, they get a couple of games under their belt, a couple of wins, and it's all over. And you know, they can get what they rightly deserve. The big interest is going to be at the bottom. That's where the big interest is going to be. There's 7 teams down there, and any 3 of them could go down. I wouldn't like to write, and even Norwich, I wouldn't write them off. I've been quite impressed with Norwich this year. I think they've played some real good stuff and been very unlucky at times, and they are a little bit adrift, but you can turn it. I went back to Portsmouth from Southampton with 10 games to go. We had 18 points. And we stayed up. We end up with 38 points and stayed up. We got 20 points out of 9. We took 20 out of 9 games actually, and we stayed up. So it's not impossible. It's wide open. That's where the interest is going to be. Liverpool win it, and then it's the battle at the bottom.
Yeah, fair play. Well, what's your view, Fran? You think you're gonna do it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd really like Arsenal to beat Man City. Obviously, first game back, and then Liverpool beat Everton and win it against Everton would be like the most icing on the cake you've ever seen in all your life.
Yeah.
And then a guard of honour at the Etihad would be even better in front of all your fans.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know where we get these people from. Who got Fran on? I've no idea. Fran, take care, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, Harry. Nice to meet you.
Good. Nice talking to you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
See you, Fran. Take care. Thanks for coming on. And he's pledged to come and chat to you via our crowdfunder, and that will go to charity. Can we bring my mate Ross on, please, Harry?
Yeah.
So, Harry, this is Ross. And Ross, this whole virtual food festival, it was his idea, really, with Jack. He's a massive Hammers fan. There he is.
Hello.
Hello, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Are you doing all right? Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely
it's good.
to meet you, Harry. We so when we come up with the idea of the virtual food festival, you know, we've been champion local suppliers, we've been champion chefs, champion restaurants, and we've been working a lot. Steve and his wife Ellie, myself and Gemma, Jack. There's a big team that have been working really, really hard. And then when Jack said, "Oh, I think we've got Harry," I said, "Oh, well, my friend Peter Mert, he knows Harry from up at Sandbanks as well. So he's a very good friend of mine from back in Padstow, and I'm a Hammers fan, and
Good.
And it's hard being a Hammers fan down in Cornwall, because to get up to London to watch a football game is quite difficult. And I just want to tell you a story that happened 1999, West Ham versus Sunderland, October time. My brother was a steward at Upton Park, and you were the manager there, and he was getting to go to every single game, and I wasn't really getting to go because I had to get a train up to London. It was a lot of money, and we were losing 1-0. And he said to me, "Let's leave before the crowds." And I said, "It's my, I'm come all the way up from London. I was only 12, 13. And he said, "No, mate, West Ham aren't going to come back from this. Let's leave now." And I was like, he's my big brother. He's about 10 years older than me. So I believed him. I left the ground. And as we left the ground, we heard the whole of Upton Park erupt. The second we walked out of the door, and I had to watch the goal on Match of the Day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and that's what my brother will kill me for telling that live, but that was my first Upton Park.
Brilliant.
Said it's hard being a West Ham fan down in Cornwall. It's hard to get up to the games, but love everything you do, Harry, and love all your support for the community and your support for the restaurant industry, and particularly its support for the Steins. It's absolutely great.
Oh, good. Nice talk. Listen, we're looking to come down to Cornwall. That's our dream. We haven't been, me and Sandra. So that's where we're going to go this year. We're going to head down to Cornwall for sure.
Yeah, come down and Jack will bring you out to our farm. Like, we've got a lovely farm just outside of Padstow with loads of animals, lots of cooking
Brilliant.
going on. Beautiful
Sounds
view.
amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks,
Good talking
Ross.
to you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Harry. Thanks, Sandra.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You never leave a game, do you, Harry? You
Nice
never
guy.
leave. Yeah, he's a brilliant lad. But
2 nice lads.
I've seen him.
oh yeah. What's the best game you've ever been involved in, Harry? Can you remember? There must so many.
So difficult, really, when you look back on it, difficult, winning the league at beating Fulham when I was manager of Bournemouth. We'd never been in outside Division 1 or 2. Division 3 or 4 in 100 years of their history, Bournemouth. So to win at Fulham that down to get into the Championship as it is now, Division 2, it was amazing for me. And there's so many days like that, you know, qualifying for the Champions League with Tottenham, winning at Man City, going to the San Siro, beating AC Milan away 1-0 was a great night for us, you know. So difficult to say, but even Birmingham, winning at Bristol City with Birmingham, having to stay up. And I went there for the last 3 games of the season. We needed to win 2 games, and we had to win at Bristol City to stay up. And we went there and won. So, yeah, some great days, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, you know, you're a real sort of champion of the people. And if you ever think of jumping ship from sport, do you think you might go into politics? Just for us?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. When I see some of these other people that are running the country, I think it couldn't do any worse. That's for sure. You know, I mean, it's a bit scary, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
The game's definitely gone. You know.
Well, you know what? You've got my vote anyway.
Yeah.
Harry, we've had such a brilliant time. Such a pleasure chatting with you and Sandra. Thanks for letting us take up part of your evening. And you know, you're brilliant supporters, both of you, of what we're doing, but also of everybody in our industry. So thank you both. Thanks, Sandra, for looking after the technical side of things. Yeah.
And we're waiting for our takeaway from Rick Steins at 8:30. So
great.
We're all excited. We're going to get have a nice glass of wine, a lovely dinner. What more can we ask?
Well, absolutely nothing. You're doing it in style. Thanks both to you. Cheers.
Pleasure.
And,
pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Sandra.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, fantastic. Great. So one of the all-time greats in sport there. Brilliant chat with Harry and also with Sandra. Thanks also to Fran for pledging via the crowdfunder platform to come and have a chat with us. That pledge will go towards our charities, which are the National Emergencies Trust and also St. Petrox. Great to see Ross on there as well. He looked like a little schoolboy, didn't he? Meeting his hero. That was fantastic. And thanks to you for coming here, as well as the lovely Melissa and Joe. Brilliant food, brilliant times, great chat, really lovely entertainment. So now that's it from us. Don't forget, you can go on our virtualfoodfestival.org website and nab yourself one of those brilliant food boxes on our food market initiative. So we'll be making some announcements coming up in the near future of when our next date is. Stay tuned, stay safe, stay positive, stay well. Have a good evening.